Welcome everyone to another coffee with Bridget, and today's coffee is Friendly's Black Cherry Chocolate Chunk, and it is really yummy. I like this, and it is in my fish scale mug, and it is very hot here, so if you hear the fan in the background, I apologize. But today I wanted to talk about a controversial subject, and that is the use of AI. So there has been a lot of AI used on a lot of variety of things recently. People have started using them as their main image in TikTok lives. People have used AI to write things. Some people have used AI for a variety of things. So where do I stand on the AI thing? Well, first and foremost, I don't believe in writing with AI. Like writing a book or anything like that. Using AI to write for you is just disingenuous. I ran Coffee Girls through AI to grammar and spell check for me because I don't have an editor. And I think that, yes, in one way it's replacing editors who would have gotten jobs otherwise if there wasn't AI. So yes, it's taking some jobs away from people. And I did use AI cover art in my books. I drew the images and I used AI to finagle them to make them the images that I wanted. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. The truth is, I don't have the money for paying someone hundreds of dollars to draw for me. And I didn't have any resources to let me know who could do that. There's no website that I know of that I can go to and find a bunch of graphic artists. So I wouldn't have even known how to begin to do that. Coffee Girls, the cover of Coffee Girls, if I have it here. The cover of Coffee Girls is literally my coffee cup and a rose. They're from my garden. So that's, and then the purpose of life, this cover was just a picture that I took outside, and I created this cover with that. So, I decided to use AI for my other covers. And honestly, I had a troll go through and give me 1-star ratings on my books because it said AI covers. And for some reason, Goodreads let that stand, even though they obviously didn't read my books. So that was kind of ridiculous. But, yeah. I think for writing in particular, AI doesn't work. If you know how to use AI to enhance your own stuff, like your own artwork and that sort of thing, I think that it works that way. But I understand the idea that there's too much AI out there and it's becoming a little bit messed up. It's a little bit more sloppy than it was before. It's kind of like my choice to take off the filters. Most people are not going to take off their filters. Now it bugs me to see people wearing filters. I'm just like, why are people wearing filters? But I understand that a lot of people are self-conscious and they don't want to see their wrinkles. They don't want to see their flaws. And we're living in a world where everything is starting to become more artificial. And that's kind of scary because you really don't know what the people on the other side are like. Now, if it's a persona, I understand it. At the same time, I totally support Dark Arter, who makes AI music. It's his voice with AI. So, I support that. I think there's nothing wrong with, using your voice as a sample and then creating artwork with it, or art form. It takes a lot more than just playing with it to create something that's something everybody likes to listen to. So AI can be very helpful. It's giving voices to people who couldn't do things before. Yes, it's a cheaper option. Yes, there are people being affected. Yes, there's people who are losing their jobs. But like the big publishers and stuff, I don't see them switching to AI for, book art. I don't see them switching to much AI other than maybe stuff for the office. And, it's sad to see things go that way, but it's just the way it is. I've created some really, really neat things with AI. Right now I'm creating an alchemy series for Nexus and TikTok. They're just images, so they're not something I can share to YouTube, unless maybe I string all the images together, which I might do for short. But it's an informative placard. Someone told me, Daniel told me, that I should turn them into posters and print them out. And that's something that I could do. He's like, I'd totally buy a poster of this because it's so informative and it's so cool looking. But I wrote everything that's in there. In fact, there's mistakes. In fact, there's things that are awkward because I speak awkwardly. I was talking about the tower card, and I was like, when, it gets built up too tall, it becomes too ponderous and it can fall. But the way I said it was a little bit awkward. And that's how you can tell that someone's words were used. But I'm very particular with my ChatGPT prompts. So honestly, I think that it's fun to play with AI, but there's lines you can't cross. If you're using AI all the time, if AI is doing all the thinking for you and you're trying to be an influencer or you're trying to create an account that matters, AI at the end of the day is going to shoot you in the foot because it's not original. AI puts out what people put into it. So it's really the user who is interfacing with it can customize it to what they want if they have that vision. It's kind of like with my videos. I've been making AI videos about neurosis. I am debating about stringing them together and making a whole movie. It's just because I can. But you have to have the vision in your head before you can create it. So a lot of people, they get a hold of AI and they have themselves in images and videos doing crazy things. Like one of the ones in one of the AIs that I tried out before I decided which one I liked, showed a person, getting out of the stands, going down and playing soccer because it was FIFA. And that's fine, but that's not, no one really buys into it, and everybody's kind of like, well, that's kind of like bleh. So I don't think that sort of thing is going to keep around. But again, it's what you put into it is what you get out. I can put in a scene from neurosis and get out a whole scene of neurosis. And there are, I'm going to call them cringe AI movie apps out there now, which is just, people stringing together AI clips and making stories out of them. I've seen them on TikTok. It's really fascinating. But, personally, I would rather see my movie turn into a full screen movie. Is that likely? Not really, but it'd be nice, I've been debating things and seeing what I want to do. But yeah, that is where I stand on the AI issue. I think it's a nice tool. It depends on the user's input, what output you get. And, be original. Create your own thing. Create your own style. Create your, be something other than the stuff that everybody else creates. You can tell an account that's all AI driven on Instagram and TikTok. There is not much there. But if it's character driven, like Dark Arter has his characters, he has Carnage and he has Dark. And it's very interesting because he's bringing such creativity to it. But I've heard other AI writers, music writers, who were okay. They were mediocre. Their songs were not that catchy. They were trying, but they weren't catchy. So it really, the tool works for certain people. It doesn't work for everybody. And that's going to happen. So yeah, AI is controversial. It's here to stay. It's the way of the future. But, the creative people are going to still shine through regardless of what happens. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you take care and you have a wonderful Thursday. I will be back on Saturday. Bye for now.